YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So today I got my Celtics, one of many retro hats on. I have the Celtics Hawaiian shirt on, and you might be asking why. Actually, you're probably not asking why because you did read the title. This is the official regular season predictions video that I've been waiting to do. I figured I'd get up, dress up a little bit, you know, throw on the retro hat, throw on the Hawaiian shirt, which you guys can get at foco.com. The link will be in the description if you do want to support the channel. But yeah, this is a video I'm very, very excited for because I think Celtics Nation and the NBA world is in a way perplexed as to what to expect from this Celtics season and the Celtics team, and that's totally fair. Like, so many things have changed. You have front office changes, you have an entirely new coaching change, you have player changes, personnel changes. Like, this is not the same Celtics team that we had last year. This is completely shaken up. It's a completely different look, so that's why I'm very excited for this predictions video. So in this video, I mean, the biggest thing is I'm going to give you my season record, and then yeah, if you guys want to know where I think they're going to go in the playoffs, like preseason, I mean, you know, before the season starts, I can give my playoff predictions, some predictions on big games. We can make a separate video here, but we're going to stick to this being, I guess, the regular season predictions video. Before I even get into the record and how I think they're going to play, I kind of want to talk about what's going to be different about this year's team. And you've probably heard this, you know, from me, I guess, bits and pieces in other videos, but I figured it'd be good to get it all out there in one video here too. So what's going to be different about this team compared to last year, or compared to, you know, maybe the second half of the year before? What's going to be different about this team? Well, first and foremost, I do truly believe that the players on the Celtics last year started to sort of tune out, and maybe that sounds bad, but just started to tune out and stop really caring and listening to the coach. And maybe that wasn't anything against Brad Stevens, the person, but, you know, they might have gotten into a routine and it got boring. And, you know, it's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So Brad Stevens is gone. Now they bring in a new coach. And I think that that is going to be such a big piece to this team's success this upcoming year, because now you have guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, all these guys that were on the team last year. I'll be damn sure that they're going to come out there and play with a little bit more fire. If we think back to last year, they would have games where, you know, from the opening tip, you're like, yeah, you know what? They just don't want it this game. They're not locked in. They don't want to play. They're going to give up. That type of thing. I feel like that all goes out the window regardless of who the new coach is once you bring in a new coach. It kind of relights that fire and gets everyone locked in again and say, hey, you know what? This is new. We have a clean, blank, new slate. Let's go out there and write whatever we want on the whiteboard. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I'm looking for here, is that, you know what? Even if they like Brad Stevens, which I hope they do because he's still with the team, he's now calling the shots. So even if they like Brad Stevens, the guy, I think players started to sort of just get bored of the locker room and get bored of probably his speeches and get bored of his play calling and play style and everything like that. And it showed in their games. You saw guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown that didn't have a fire in their eye. You saw a guy like Marcus Smart not want to dive for a loose ball, which has been his like trademark thing to do. Guys were not bought in, and they started to tune out their coaching last year. I honestly believe that. So I think number one, the biggest thing that is changing from last year is you have a whole new philosophy, a whole new culture and mindset heading into the season. Think about it. If you've ever done anything that, you know, you get super bored of, you just make a change, whether that change for better or for worse, it kind of inspires you again and gets you back on track. And then who knows, in a couple of years, maybe Udoka isn't the coach that the Celtics dreamed of. But we're talking about next year. And I think that that fire and that inspiration change, I think, is going to do wonders for them. I think that that's going to bleed into a lot of things, that coaching change. I think we're going to see a team that does not give up, a team that wants to start early and set the tone, make momentum changing plays, all that. I don't think that this team's going to be there and just say, hey, you know what? Let's go play basketball and see what happens. No, I think that they're going to want to go to war for this city, which we've seen in years past. We just hadn't seen much of in the past couple years. So that's sort of that like vibe, that culture change, that more of a Celtic pride performance. That's what I think we're going to get back to. And I'm pretty confident in that, just because, again, it's a huge change they made. If a guy doesn't get, you know, excited, or that doesn't move the needle for a guy like Marcus Smart or some of the other prominent names on this team, then I don't know what to tell you. Then it's a lost cause, because I honestly think a coaching change is like, hey, you know what? Sit up straight. Let's at least try this for now, and let's go do this thing. But what else is going to be different? I mean, the obvious here is you're going to have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown another year under their belt. Jason Tatum absolutely cemented himself as a superstar last year. If you still are one of those idiots on Twitter saying that Jason Tatum is not a superstar, I mean, I thought you guys were all weeded out in the idiot filter, but hey, whatever. If you're still there, I don't know what to tell you because you're never going to change your mind. But Jaylen Brown, all-star last year. I think he's going to be an all-star again this year. He's now going to cement himself into that star category. Jason Tatum, I think, is right there as a top 10 NBA player. If Jaylen Brown can take that leap to be a top 15, top, 16, 15, 14 player in this league, that's going to be massive for this team. And I think that we have a pretty damn good shot of seeing it just based on Jaylen Brown's track record. The guy gets better and better and better every single year, and he's not only getting better at the stuff that he does well already, he takes something that he's really, really bad at, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's gone. Now he's better at it the next season, and it's a problem solved. So as he starts to recognize what he can and can't get better at, I trust him 100% to fix those things in the offseason, and we've had an offseason now where I expect him to now come back from it and be even better. So I think that that's going to be a huge change that we see. And, I know it's probably not something everyone wants to talk about because I think he soured a lot of people's minds. But Marcus Smart, I think he's going to return to being that sort of heart and soul of the team and win back all of the people that he lost last year. I made a whole video about it. I can link it up here so you guys can go check it out. I think Marcus Smart's going to return to the Marcus Smart that we once knew and loved because he doesn't have to prove anyone wrong anymore. He got his money. He got his extension. He's literally here for another half decade. He got his contract extension. So I don't think we have to worry about Marcus Smart trying to prove the NBA world wrong. He got his money. Now he can get back to doing what he's good at. And he's even alluded to that in all these press conferences that he's had in training camp. So the coaching change, the more prominent players on your team, I think it's going to be a huge difference. And the biggest thing here, and one of, I should say, because I feel like I've called every single one of these changes the biggest change, but this is a big change, is that this team is just a million times more deep than we saw last year. Now, obviously, injuries are going to happen. That's something that plagued them last year, but you can't account for injuries preseason. But what you can do is get the next man ready, and this Celtics team now has way better names coming off the bench, veteran names coming off the bench. They're not just relying on, second, third-year players that really don't belong in those 20-minute per game roles, 15-minute per game roles. They have legitimate names coming off the bench, and I think that's going to do absolute wonders for them because, one, if everyone stays healthy, then wow, best case scenario. But they have a way better team that can at least set up for, the next man up mentality if someone were to get hurt. So those were some of the biggest voids I saw last year that are now either changed or some of the things that, we can build on from last year. But the question you guys have all been waiting for, what is the Celtics record going to be at the end of the year in this regular season? And I've already said it. I don't think I've hit it in other videos. I don't think that I've tried to beat around the bush. I think this Celtics team is going to beat Vegas in the sense that they went for, I think that they gave them a line of 47.5 wins or 46.5 wins, call it 47 just for the sake of this video. I've said over and over again, they're going to hit that over. They're going to hit that over. Speaking of Vegas, guys, I did want to mention this in this video, so not to take away from this video, but I did want to mention that come the NBA season, I think we're going to do, maybe a 3 times a week. We'll see how much you guys like it, but we're going to do a gambling show where I go over the games of that night. We'll go over the slate, and I'll give you my picks. We're going to try and roll that show out. I don't know what it's going to call. I don't know if it's going to be just me or a co-host, anything like that, but we are going to have an NBA pick show coming to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of that and if you are excited for it and if you're interested in seeing it. But yeah, so the Celtics, 47-win team according to Vegas. I think they blow that out of the water, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, I think they're going to be a 55-win team and win the conference and all that. I think the Celtics team is going to go 50-32 next year. Every time I've said that they're going to be a 50-win team, I've meant it. I don't think that they're going to go out and smash 50 wins. I could easily see 51 maybe, but I'm locking in my official prediction at 50 wins and 32 losses. I'm really confident this team can get to that number if everything that I said before this comes true. I don't think that it's going to be too hard. So 50-32, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is my official prediction on this record, and I kind of threw in some other things about some guys that I think are going to step up and the culture change and everything like that. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.